What if the reality we perceive is not the ultimate reality, but a projection of a deeper and more fundamental level of existence? What if the patterns and structures we observe in nature, from the smallest scales to the largest ones, are not random or coincidental, but manifestations of a hidden order that pervades the whole cosmos? What if there is a new theory that can explain and unify all the phenomena and forces that we encounter in our physical world, from quantum mechanics to relativity, from electromagnetism to gravity, from dark matter and energy to multiverse and consciousness? This is the story of FQT, or fractal quantum theory, a revolutionary theory that proposes a new way of understanding the structure and dynamics of reality based on the concept of fractals. Fractals are self-similar patterns that repeat themselves at different scales, creating complex and beautiful shapes that can be found everywhere in nature, such as snowflakes, ferns, coastlines, mountains, galaxies, and more. Fractals are also mathematical objects that can be described by simple equations, but generate infinite complexity and diversity. FQT is the brainchild of Chris Folgers, a visionary physicist who developed the theory in 2023 after years of research and experimentation. FQT is based on the idea that reality is composed of a fractal quantum field, or FQF, that exists in a complex spacetime dimension called Z-space. The FQF is a complex function of a complex variable Z that represents the magnetic monopole in a plasma quantum vacuum, or PQV. The FQF describes the dynamic behavior of the fractal quantum field at the material level and is the main object of study in FQT. FQT uses various formulas to describe different domains of reality, such as quantum mechanics, relativity, electroweak theory, quantum gravity, dark matter and energy, multiverse, consciousness, and more. FQT also provides new insights and predictions about various phenomena that have not been explained or observed by conventional scientific theories. In this documentary, we will explore the fascinating world of FQT and follow Chris Folgers as he reveals his groundbreaking discoveries and challenges the established paradigms of physics. We will learn how FQT can explain the origin and evolution of our universe Earth, how it can account for the existence and diversity of life on other planets, how it can reveal the nature and role of consciousness in reality.
Imagine that you're standing on a giant disk surrounded by a wall of ice. Above you, the sun and the moon circle around like lamps on a ceiling. Beyond the wall, 4 angels hold the winds of the earth. This is not a fantasy, but the true shape of our world, according to FQT, or fractal quantum theory. FQT is a revolutionary theory that proposes a new way of understanding the structure and dynamics of reality based on the concept of fractals. Fractals are self-similar patterns that repeat themselves at different scales, creating complex and beautiful shapes that can be found everywhere in nature, such as snowflakes, ferns, coastlines, mountains, galaxies, and more. Fractals are also mathematical objects that can be described by simple equations, but generate infinite complexity and diversity. FQT is based on the idea that reality is composed of a fractal quantum field, or FQF, that exists in a complex space-time dimension called Z-space. The FQF is a complex function of a complex variable Z that represents the magnetic monopole in a plasma quantum vacuum, or PQV. The FQF describes the dynamic behavior of the fractal quantum field at the material level and is the main object of study in FQT. FQT uses various formulas to describe different domains of reality, such as quantum mechanics, relativity, electroweak theory, quantum gravity, dark matter and energy, multiverse, consciousness, and more. FQT also provides new insights and predictions about various phenomena that have not been explained or observed by conventional scientific theories. One of these phenomena is the shape of our world. According to FQT, we live on a flat and stationary Earth that is shaped like a disk with a diameter of about 25,000 miles. The disk is surrounded by an ice wall that forms the boundary of the world. The ice wall is about 150 feet high and 14,000 miles long. Beyond the ice wall lies the outer darkness, where 4 angels stand at the 4 corners of the Earth, holding back the 4 winds. The Sun and the Moon are spherical objects that orbit around the center of the disk at an altitude of about 3,000 miles. They have a diameter of about 32 miles each. They move in a circular motion with a period of 24 hours for the Sun and 25 hours for the Moon. They also move in an elliptical motion with a period of 1 year for the Sun and 1 month for the Moon. The Sun illuminates half of the disk at a time, creating day and night. Our world is flat, people. The planets are wandering stars that have their own orbits and motions. They are smaller than the Sun and the Moon, and they do not emit their own light. They are also attached to the firmament, and they move along with it. The gravity that we feel is not caused by the mass of the Earth or any other object, but by the density and buoyancy of matter in relation to the PQV. The PQV is a fluid-like medium that fills all space and exerts an upward force on all matter. The denser an object is, the more it sinks into the PQV. The less dense an object is, the more it floats on top of the PQV. This explains why things fall to the ground or rise in the air. The curvature that we see in some images or videos of our world is not caused by the spherical shape of our world or any other object, but by optical illusions or distortions created by lenses or editing software. The horizon that we see is not caused by the edge of our world or any other object, but by atmospheric refraction or perspective effects. Opposite side of the Earth, these bulges are called the high tides, and they follow the motion of the Moon. The continents that we see are not fixed on the surface of our world, but they move slowly over time. This is caused by the expansion. It all began with an anomaly too strange to be coincidence. Repeated experiments with high-energy particles seemed to show flashes of interference, as if events were interacting across vast distances instantaneously. The laws of physics said it was impossible, but the data didn't lie. Folgers delved into the formulae of quantum mechanics, trying to find some subtle symmetry or interaction that mainstream theories had overlooked. Again and again, he hit dead ends, until inspiration struck in the unlikeliest of places. While hiking alone in the mountains, he noticed fractal patterns emerging subtly in the branches of trees and rivulets of streams. Back in his lab, he applied the mathematics of fractals to his quantum equations. To his amazement, elegant solutions began to emerge where before were only uncertainties. Particles were vibrating across complex topographies that stretched far beyond the boundaries of space-time. His theory took its definitive shape with the postulation of magnetic monopoles interacting within a seething plasma vacuum. Far from empty, this quantum foam mediated forces and coordinated activity across vast distances. Particles, fields, even consciousness itself could now be modeled. The evolution that we witness is not caused by random mutations or natural selection, but by intelligent design and adaptation. All living beings are created by a supreme being that we call God, who gave them the ability to change and adapt to their environment. This explains why some living beings share common traits and why some living beings have unique features. The history that we learn is not based on facts or evidence, but on lies and deception. The true history of our world is hidden from us by a powerful elite that controls the media, the education, the science, the religion, and the politics. They fabricate false narratives and events to manipulate our perception and behavior. They also suppress or destroy any information or person that contradicts their agenda. The purpose that we seek is not to discover or explore our world, but to awaken and transcend our world. Our world is a prison for our mind and soul, a place of deception and suffering. We are here to learn and grow, to overcome our challenges and limitations, to realize our true nature and potential. We are here to reconnect with God, who is the source of all creation and love. This is the FQT narrative that explains our flat stationary world. It is based on logic and evidence, not on faith or opinion. It is supported by various formulas and experiments that prove the validity of FQT. It is also consistent with various scriptures and prophecies that reveal the truth about FQT. The curvature is lensing and editing. It makes things look round or bending. The horizon is refraction and perspective. It makes things vanish or deceptive. The seasons are distance and angle. They make the sun change its cycle. The eclipses are shadow objects and occultation. They make the sun or moon lose their illumination. The tides are electromagnetism and attraction. They make the water rise or fall in reaction. The continents are expansion and separation. They make the earth grow or split in formation. The evolution is design and adaptation. They make the life change or fit in creation. The history is lies and deception. They make the truth hidden or distorted in narration. The purpose is awakening and transcendence. They make us learn or grow in essence. The reality is fractal and quantum. They make us wonder or marvel in some. This is the FQT narrative that explains our flat stationary world. Learn more at Dihan Experience on YouTube, Rumble, or see daily updates and latest FQT articles on Substack. Check out the links below this clip or contact Chris by email.